Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 11, Lesson 76, and today we're focusing on a single elegant comma decision. When to place a comma after an introductory phrase, and when to leave it out. It's one of those small choices that quietly makes your writing clearer and easier to read. Master it, and your sentences will open smoothly every time. Let's dig in. Let's talk about a small mark that does a big job. The comma after an introductory phrase. An introductory phrase is a group of words that comes before the main clause, setting the scene for it. Very often, a comma sets that phrase off from what follows, giving the reader a natural little pause. But here's the catch. A comma isn't always required. The length of the phrase and the clarity of the sentence decide whether you need one. When you do use it, that comma keeps the reader from stumbling right into your main idea. Let's start with short introductory phrases. When the opener is short and perfectly clear, you usually don't need a comma at all. Take this one. In spring, the garden wakes. It's brief, it reads smoothly, and no comma is required. But watch what happens here. Before eating, the family said grace. That comma is doing real work. Without it, a reader's eye slides into before eating, the family, as if the family were the meal, and then has to back up. So we add the comma only to stop a misreading. With a short phrase, a comma is optional. You reach for it when clarity needs rescuing. Now, long introductory phrases are a different story. When the opener stretches out, it almost always needs a comma. Listen. After the long and tiring rehearsal, the actors went straight home. That opening phrase, after the long and tiring rehearsal, is a real mouthful, so we drop a comma right after it. You can practically hear the pause. Then the main clause follows. The actors went straight home. A longer opener needs the breathing room that only a comma gives. So the rule is simple. A long phrase in front, use the comma every time. Sometimes several phrases pile up at the front of a sentence, one after another. Here's the rule. No matter how many there are, you place just one comma, and it goes after the final phrase. Look at this. In the attic under an old quilt, the cat slept. There are two phrases stacked in front, in the attic, and then under an old quilt. Notice we do not put a comma between them. The single comma lands only after the last one, right before the main clause. So with a run of phrases, remember, the final phrase gets the comma, and the ones before it do not. Here's a case that surprises people. Sometimes an introductory phrase is followed immediately by the verb, and when that happens, you do not use a comma. Look, inside the old cedar chest lay the letters. The phrase is inside the old cedar chest, but the very next word is the verb, lay. Since the verb follows right on the phrase's heels, we leave the comma out. Here's another. Under the porch hides a family of rabbits. Again, the verb hides comes straight after the phrase, so no comma. Dropping a comma in here would wrongly split the verb from its subject. So when a verb follows, let the words run together. Finally, let's look at a special opener called a participial phrase. A phrase built on an ing or ed word that describes the subject. With one of these in front, a comma is standard. Here's an example. Startled by the thunder, the dog bolted under the bed. The phrase startled by the thunder describes the dog, and we set it off with a comma before the main clause. That ed or ing opener points straight at the subject that follows, so the comma makes the connection clear. Whenever a participial phrase leads the sentence, the comma is expected, Reach for it without hesitation. Let's pull it all together into a quick check you can run every time. First, is the opener a long phrase or a run of several phrases? If so, use a comma. Second, is it short but easy to misread? Then add a comma to keep it clear. Third, does a verb come right after the phrase? If it does, use no comma. Never split the verb from its subject. And keep this in your back pocket. A participial opener always takes a comma. Run through those and you'll punctuate any introductory phrase with confidence. Let's practice. Let's put this into practice. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence, and you decide whether it needs a comma after the introductory phrase, or none at all. Pause the video and choose before I reveal each answer. While cooking, blank, the chef tasted the sauce. Should there be a comma after cooking? Read it without one and your eye trips. While cooking, the chef, as if the chef were being cooked. A comma after cooking clears that up instantly, so yes, we add a comma after cooking. After the final bell of the long school day, blank, the students rushed outside. That opening phrase is long, and a long introductory phrase always takes a comma, so the answer is comma. Beyond the tall fence, blank, grew a row of sunflowers. Look at the word right after the phrase, grew. That's the verb, and when a verb follows the introductory phrase, we do not add a comma. So the answer is no comma, because a verb follows. Nice work. This second set mixes in stacked phrases, participial openers, and a short and clear phrase. Same idea. Pick the best answer and pause before I reveal it. On the top shelf behind the dusty jars, blank, the old recipe was hidden. Here we have two phrases stacked in front, on the top shelf and behind the dusty jars. One comma goes after the final phrase, so the answer is comma. Exhausted from the long climb, blank, the hikers stopped to rest. Exhausted from the long climb is a participial phrase. It describes the hikers. A participial opener always takes a comma, so the answer is comma. In winter, the lake freezes solid. Is a comma needed after winter? The phrase is short, and there's no chance of misreading it. A short, clear opener like this doesn't require a comma, so the answer is no. It's short and clear. Let's gather up what we learned. Use a comma after a long introductory phrase, or after the last phrase in a run of them. A short opener needs a comma only when leaving it out would cause a misreading. And two quick reminders. Skip the comma when a verb follows the phrase, and always use a comma after a participial opener. Get those down, and every sentence you write will open cleanly and clearly. I'll see you in the next lesson.